In 1997, a little film called I Know What You Did Last Summer graced movie theaters around the world, fresh off of the success of Scream the year prior. It was R-rated, an hour and 40 minutes long, and featured a bunch of hot teenagers getting into trouble. Fast forward to 2025, almost 30 years later, and here we are again at a brand new I Know What You Did Last Summer, another soft reboot, or a remake sequel, a requel, as it's called. Some of the old dogs are back with a new class of characters that'll probably get into the same exact situation again. Because these are movies now! But before I go and watch this new movie and review it in just a day or two from now, I wanted to go back and watch the original. A film that I remember not thinking was that great when I saw it a kabillion years ago in theaters, because I'm really young. But time, age, wisdom can sometimes shed new light on a film. And sometimes I even have a fresh perspective or a new outlook on something that came before. So I checked the movie out, and as it turns out, Teenage Adam was quite astute. The movie's not great, not terrible. I guess we could call it mid. I want to talk about it for a while, and as I do, if you find yourself being absolutely riveted, captivated by the conversation, feel free to grab a hook and just stab into that subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. That way, future videos by me show up in your feed, and I would appreciate it. The I Know What You Did Last Summer franchise spanned 3 movies. I didn't even bother with the second 2 because, again, Teenage Adam was quite wise. His time was precious, and he didn't waste it watching sequels to something that wasn't that great to begin with, even if it did feature the smoking hot Jennifer Love Hewitt. Now rewatching, I see that she's only 18, along with probably most of the cast, which makes me feel like absolute trash looking at them. But I was young at the time, damn it. And director Jim Gillespie had no problem showcasing off the gals. Not only did we have the hot up-and-comer Jennifer Love Hewitt, we also had Buffy herself here, Sarah Michelle Gellar. And for some of the older gentlemen and ladies, we had Anne Heche playing herself as a crazy woman. And don't worry, we had hot male representation too. Freddie Prinze Jr., Sarah Michelle Gellar's husband, also her co-star in the Scooby-Doo movies, and love to hate him, Ryan Phillippe. Leonard from Big Bang Theory is gonna pop in once in a while too. The plot for I Know What You Did Last Summer is quite simple on its face, but as we get further into the story, we'll learn that there's a mystery afoot. It's a murder mystery whodunit. It's always a fun genre of mine, but I do think the way it's presented in I Know What You Did Last Summer kind of misses the mark a bit. It gets a little convoluted and messy, and the way the characters go about figuring out who the murderer is kind of sloppy. So again, simple premise. It's the final summer for these teenagers who are all gonna go their separate ways off in college. Sarah Michelle Gellar's character, Helen, is just crowned queen of this fisherman bumfuck town, and the whole gang celebrates by taking a joyride over to the beach where they're gonna get a little tipsy, mainly just Ryan Phillippe's character, Barry, who as it turns out is the worst in this movie. Dear gods, why do they like him? Why do they hang out with him? He's a prick to everyone. I mean, his parents are rich, so I suppose that comes with some perks. Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character Ray drives his car. They go up a windy road to the top of a mountain peak where, boom, he takes out some random ass guy stumbling across the road in the dead of night, mainly because Barry had spilled his drink in Ray's lap. Thanks, dick. Now we have ourselves a predicament, even though it was an accident, even though Barry wasn't actually driving the car. This looks terrible. We have teenagers in their prime about to go start their lives. They had dreams of college. Dreams of going to New York City. I don't think they had killing a dude in the middle of the night on their bucket list. That's not part of the plan. So they decide, in their infinite wisdom, to drop the body in the lake. But first they're gonna drag the body across the road right in front of Max's truck that's heading by. That's played by the Big Bang Theory star Leonard, aka actor Johnny Galecki. Barry pretends to be puking on the side of the road, but Max has his eyes on them. And this is the first character the movie's gonna present as a possible killer down the road. Anyway, eventually they drag the body to the end of the dock, dump his ass overboard, where he steals the crown from Sarah Michelle Gellar, prompting one of the guys to dive in to retrieve it, where he then sees the eyes of the guy they just killed, boom, snap back open. This dude's still alive. But he leaves him down there knowing this information, and then they just walk away. Maybe, just maybe, they should have stuck around to see if this guy was gonna surface again, but you know, to be fair, I don't think you would see Dick in the lake in the middle of the night. I think it would be pitch black, but I digress. We had to get a movie out of this somehow. It's a very fun, solid premise, and I will say the first 45 minutes of this movie is presented pretty damn well. I was actually shocked by how pretty this movie looked, and I think it's mainly because I'm so bombarded by ugly, high-res digital shit that comes out in streaming now, so anything that's competently shot, that has some of that film grain, some of that old school style to it, really speaks to me now. After the teenagers get away with murder, they make a pact never to bring it up again. Fast forward again, a full summer later. I really have to get better fast forward motions. A mysterious love letter from a secret admirer starts to make its way around to our friend group with the simple phrase, "I know what you did last summer." Haunting stuff. I saw that phrase and I thought to myself, wait, that's the title of the movie! And I was like, what? Yeah! The killer in this movie is gonna take his sweet ass time showing up, by the way. Not a lot of deaths in this, and they are very backloaded. And I have to say, a fisherman with a slicker and a hook on paper might have been scarier than in final production, because there was never a single point as a teenager or as a full-blown adult where I thought, oh, scary, shiver me timbers, it's the fisherman with the hook. I think the hook is a cool weapon, not so much the wardrobe. And unfortunately, the kills in this movie aren't very creative either. Typically a stab to the stomach or a slash across the throat. Later, the movie will present a few more characters. One of them is Sarah Michelle Gellar's sister in the film. I believe her name is Elsa, but she'll always be Mortal Kombat's Sonya Blade to me. She runs the local family store where her sister Helen sometimes will stop in and work. Well, one night, in probably the most unintentionally funny scene in the film, she's closing up shop and her sister Helen is running across the street to the store because she's being chased by this murderer with a hook. She runs up to the door and she's banging on it. Let me in, help me! Elsa doesn't look like she gives two fucks about this. She's like, oh God, she's so dramatic. Oh, did I leave the coffee on? Shoot. Help me, you stupid bitch! Oh, I need the keys. Oh my God. I hate you! Oh my God, Friends is on. I have to hit record on the VCR. I try to tape all of them. I will fucking murder you, Elsa! Jesus, let it go, Helen. I'm Elsa, remember? This is a Frozen reference for some reason. She does get to the door in time, finally. And thankfully, Elsa will be murdered not much longer down the road. Barry dies in the most pathetic way possible, and probably the second most iconic scene in the movie, where he's looking on to his queen as she crowns the new winner for the new year. He's up in the balcony where the fisherman Abe Lincoln's his ass, hope that's not too soon, hooking him in the back, and that's all she wrote. Keep in mind, this movie goes out of its way to show Barry as a fighter. He's punching the bag, he's doing some roundhouse kicks. I was like, damn, they're building him up. I can't wait to see how he fights off this hooked guy in the future. He doesn't. I mentioned second most iconic scene in the movie. The first is Jennifer Love Hewitt going, "What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?" And she spins around like a dipshit. That's the magic they kept trying to recreate in the follow-up movies. It's even in the new one, but she says it in a very serious way. What are you waiting for? I'm still alive. I'm still here. I'm still standing. Na, 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 na. The big reveal in the final act is that Julie James, played by Jennifer Love Hewitt, was under the impression that they had killed a dude named David Egan. But in fact, David Egan was killed by the fisherman named Ben Willis. Ben Willis had just killed David Egan and was making his way across the road, and boom, the teens hit him with the car. It's your classic wrong place, wrong time situation for everyone. He didn't die, as we know, because we saw him open his eyes underwater, and I don't know why any of the teenagers didn't bother to think that over, but he comes back a year later to seek his revenge and starts picking these kids off one by one, only to get the final two on his boat, Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt. The two characters that will survive all the way to the new film. And although they do not manage to kill the fisherman in this film, they do cut off his hand. So not only will this span several sequels, we also have a hell of a backstory to Captain Hook. I watched this movie with my whole family. My kids are older now, and my daughter, who's 16, wasn't very impressed with it. My daughter was saying, why doesn't she just jump overboard and swim away? He doesn't even know where she's at right now. She could do it. Can she not swim? And in my perverted brain, I was thinking to myself, oh, I mean, she can float because she's got those two buoys attached to her. But I didn't. I refrained because I'm a gentleman like that. Anyway, that's I Know What You Did Last Summer, mid. That's what I would say. It's mid. It's a schlocky, watchable time, but I was never impressed then. I'm not impressed now. I have no real hope for this new movie, but I'll see it and maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised. And if you want to hear my thoughts on that movie, feel free to sub to Adam Does Movies on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. I post video reviews, commentary, live streams almost every single day at this point. It's quite remarkable what you get for free. But if you feel like throwing a couple dollars down, I also have a Patreon at patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies, or you can be a member right here on YouTube via that join button. So there's ways to give back, because I give so much. Okay, hopefully I see you next time. Take care.